What's up, everyone? Pretty excited today. Got a new addition, and it's a pretty big one. I've kind of gone to the limits of certain things I want to do and where I want to continue to develop what I do in my free time as far as photography goes. I enjoy the Micro Four Thirds platform as far as being mirrorless, and I really enjoy the kit I have with being ultra portable. But I want to get to something that's a little more capable for ultimate imaging. And so I am stepping up the next camera I have. Now the box looks a little jacked. Must have got crushed in the UPS truck, but I don't think there's any damage to the inside. It sounds like it was packaged halfway decent, so hopefully we don't have any. Yeah, it looks like we're no damage to the package, but I got this, and the reason I got it was strictly because of price point. I had been considering it and been considering a two-camera system from Sony, whether that be an A7R II and A6500, but they had an open box A9, and their open box pricing was more than their typical base 15%. So I jumped all over it just because I had stockpiled a few $100s in rewards points there, and was able to get this A9 for $3,500. So that puts me at almost $1,000 ahead of the game, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So in checking this thing out, we're gonna knock this open box out here. Truthfully, it looks like this thing was just open and put right back. So obviously A9 strap I'll never use. The charging cable, so there's been a lot of misconception with the charger here. So you do have a heavy charging cable. You also do have the charging plug from the wall. That's going to be more for the USB connection. You have your cable clamp that holds the HDMI cable and other cables in place on the side there. And then in the bottom, this is the important thing. It does in fact, and I know some of the early reviews didn't have it, but it does in fact have the battery charging dock. It's not just a USB to the wall, so that's pretty awesome. For me, I'm really excited for some of the different things to do. Like, yes, I do shoot birds. Yes, I do shoot sports. But this is going to give me increased, although not as much as the A7R II, it will give me increased dynamic range. And with the full frame capabilities and some of the lenses, I wouldn't have done this if the ergonomics had not improved from the A7 models to the A9, as well as the addition of dual card slots and some things like that. So given the price point, getting it at $3,500, that really put me over the edge, and I am thrilled to have this Sony A9. So for me, this thing is going to go run laps around everything else I have. I really enjoy the added ergonomics. As far as the deeper grip, you know, that's one thing that's going to mean a lot to me, especially with it being so closely resembling the size of a GH5. And I've been able to get incredible results on some of the work I've done with Micro Four Thirds. This is just going to be able to take it a step farther. Yes, I do lose some of the portability of my kit and some of the versatility, but the Micro Four Thirds system really taught me how to take an appropriate picture, how to frame, how not to rely on cropping. So that really got me ready for this next step. I can tell you that it feels great in the hand as far as the hand goes. I'm not a small guy. I'm about 6'1", 225 and have larger hands. I have seen videos to where the knuckle might rub on the front of the lens here, but I do also have the pinky grip extension coming, so I'll have that for my little finger, but this thing looks glorious. So I can't wait to see it. I'm assuming the battery is inside because I didn't see it in there. It is. Let's see if this fires up. Alrighty, crossing the fingers. Looks like we've got some battery in there, and we are good. So I can't wait to get out and use this thing, and I will give you more feedback. But as far as the open box initial impressions, I've used Sony before, so I know their build quality. I'm really excited to use some native lenses on there. I've used the 70 to 200 G Master with teleconverter before. That's operated great on the A6500, so I can only imagine that the autofocus and responsiveness will be better here. I really appreciate the dials, the dual dials for drive mode and for the autofocus modes. One thing I will have to get used to, and you can see it up here if I'm not too close for my focusing distance, is the locks. Now that's one thing I wish they would have done without. So for instance, on the GH5 here, if you go to use the knob, you can choose whether you want it engaged or not. The knob is stiff enough to where I've never accidentally changed the mode, so I never engaged that lock. Where on the Sony, those are things you have to press to make changes. Like, you must press this down to make a change. Over here on this side, you must press this little notch down in order to make a change to the autofocus mode. Now granted, I can do it with one hand, you know, from single, continuous to manual, but it would be so nice just to do it without having to contort my hand and press that little button. Same thing up here with the top. You know, if I want to change that, I can. As far as initial impressions, I'm glad the slow and quick time is in the Sony A9 on the top dial here. It's not part of the software like the A7R2. You know, for myself, I was using my A6500 for a lot of my time lapses just because of the functionality of it, and it wasn't something I had to worry about. So I'm thrilled to have this. I can't wait to get it going, and you will see some reviews soon coming from all my backlogged Panasonic stuff, as well as some more use of the A9 and everything that goes with it. Thanks, guys. Remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and also check out my other content. Appreciate it.